I think what just transpired was an historic vote for the American people in terms of finally bringing transparency to what is perhaps the most powerful federal agency, and that is the Fed. I recall that on March 3rd, 2009, as a member of the Budget Committee, I asked Chairman Bernanke if he would simply tell me and the American people who had received, which large financial institutions had received trillions of dollars of zero or near zero interest loans. I thought that was a reasonable question. I thought the American people had a right to know. Mr. Bernanke said, no, Senator, I'm not going to tell you. Well, with the passage of this amendment, the American people are finally going to learn which large, powerful financial interest received trillions of dollars of zero or near zero interest loans. Second of all, I think the average American is beginning to wonder what goes on behind the closed doors of the Fed. They wonder what happens when you have the Fed meeting with the heads of the largest financial institutions in this country. And at the end of these meetings, companies walk out with incredibly good deals. In the case of Goldman Sachs, AIG was bailed out to the tune of some $185 billion, and it turns out that Goldman Sachs got $13 billion of that money. And that was a meeting that Lloyd Blankfein was involved in. You have situations involving Stephen Friedman, head of the New York Fed, also a member of the board of Goldman Sachs, sitting down and working on an arrangement by which Goldman Sachs can become a bank holding company eligible for zero interest loans. Is there a conflict of interest there? I think the average person would say, yeah. I would say yes. But that's what we're going to ask the GAO to take a hard look at. So I think this amendment begins the process of lifting the veil of secrecy at perhaps the most powerful federal agency there is, the Federal Reserve. And I am very appreciative not only of the extraordinarily strong vote we received today, but to say to my progressive friends and my conservative friends, both here in the Senate, and to say to the grassroots organizations, I have never seen a process like this, where you bring groups that I'm comfortable and I've worked with for years, the AFL-CIO, the SEIU, Public Citizen, strong progressive grassroots organizations, MoveOn.org, working with groups that I don't work with very often, the National Taxpayers Union, the Eagle Forum, many very conservative groups. But I think what is beginning to happen as a result of strong grassroots efforts, the Congress is beginning to respond, and I think that's a great step forward for the American people.